Hey there, this is Andrew bringing you another Keyforge deck reveal. This is another of the ones I brought back from Keyforge Celebration that we opened and played locally, playing sealed. And this one is ENS, I think that's maybe short for Ensign. Ensign Wevilthan, the Streetwise Pilgrim. And it has Sanctum, Mars, and Unfathomable. That's a fun setup. And the token creature is Defender, who is a 2-power human knight with 1 armor. And I'll just say, initially I thought some of these blank text box tokens were going to be really sad to work with, but in practical experience, with Grunt anyway, it's turned out they can be pretty good. So, yeah. All right, let's dig in. So there's the token. All right, first, and again, these are going to be out of order because they were played with, but I have not seen them yet. Stir Crazy is an action with an amber in Unfathomable. It says play each ready creature captures 1 amber from its opponent. Then we have Scoop Up. Love this from Mars. It's an action with an amber that says play put a friendly non-Mars creature and an enemy non-Mars creature into your archives. If an enemy creature would leave your archives, return it to its owner's hand instead. Yeah, so that's standard Mars archive your opponent's creatures shenanigans. Importantly, it's a friendly non-Mars creature, so you cannot use this to archive your Mars creatures, unfortunately. But you can use it on a token and potentially, archive an action or something you want to play as itself that way. So it might even work better that these token creatures are not Mars, whereas the deck I played this in previously had a Grunt. Okay, Grey Augur is a 3-power human monk with 1 armor. Each of its neighbors gains after fight, gain 1 amber. Mothership Support is back. It's an action with an amber that says for each friendly ready Mars creature, deal 2 damage to a creature. Then we have Mark II Generator, an artifact. It's an item, and it enters play ready, and it actions to make a token creature. Very nice. We have Taxing Journey, an action with an amber that says play a friendly creature captures 1 amber. Each of its neighbors that shares a house with it also captures an amber. Squire Recruitment is an action with an amber that says play make a token creature for each friendly knight creature. Unfortunately, Grey Augur isn't a knight, but Defender is. So wow, this at least doubles your tokens. That's interesting. If you're behind on board, you can use Glorious View. It's an action that says play for each creature your opponent controls in excess of you, gain 1 amber, and this one got a capture icon added to it. Chal the Safeguard is a 4-power human knight with 2 armor, deploy, and taunt. Xanthix Harvester is back from Age of Ascension. It's a 3-power beast that has after reap gain 1 amber, but it cannot be used while it has a non-Mars neighbor. This pairs well with Ironix Rebel, which is a 2-power Martian Ironix with deploy and play ready each of its Mars neighbors. So if you have an empty board, you play the Xanthix Harvester, and then the Rebel you get to immediately reap with the Xanthix Harvester. Also, if you end up in a situation where your board gets messed up, so you have a non-Mars creature next to the Harvester, Rebel can get you out of that situation. Katarina the Summoner is a 4-power human with after she's played or after she reaps, she captures an amber. When she's destroyed, she makes a token creature for each amber on her. Kind of cool to get this with the capture icon because immediately you captured 2, which means when she dies, she's going to make 2 tokens, which is kind of fun. A little weird to have a summoner in Sanctum, though, don't you think? Guiltspine Netcaster is a 2-power Aquan that gave 2 capture enhancements that says after reap, exhaust a creature. Sybil Waymare is really cool. A 5-power Aquan that says at the start of your opponent's turn, that player discards the top card of their deck and exhausts each creature of that card's house. That can be really devastating. Obviously, this happens before they choose their creature, which is nice for them, but still it can mess up their plans, and I like messing up my opponent's plans. Timothy the Damned. Timothy, I then want to say duh. Timothy duh, but it's Timothy the Damned. And notice it's two M's. So damned like walled up, stopped. It's a great pun. Is a 4-power Aquan with play, make a token creature, and while you control a token creature, your opponent cannot forge keys. That is a strong one-sided effect. On the other hand, it's a 4-power creature, no elusive or anything, so your opponent can probably find a way to kill it. But if they can't, and we do have some taunt in here, if they can't, that's going to be a problem. Ixil's Stim Rager is a 4-power Martian soldier with 2 armor that says after fight, deal 2 damage to a creature and move it to either flank of its controller's battle line. It's fine. Then we have Ostentatious Mount, an upgrade with an aember that says play, move this creature anywhere in its controller's battle line, and this creature gains taunt. Again, really nice way to protect your Timothy. Hypoxia is an action with an aember that says play, destroy each token creature. Then we have Ironic's Vatminder, a 3-power Martian Ironics with 1 armor that says play and destroyed, make a token creature. It's so weird because play / destroyed is not a combination we'd seen before, but it's easy to figure out what it does. Just hadn't seen it before this set. Lady Lorena is a 6-power Spirit Knight with 3 armor, taunt, and her taunt also applies to her neighbor's neighbors. Another Timothy. Wow. Very good. Then we have Mars Needs Aember, an action with an aember that has a capture icon on it. In this case, it says for each damage, when you play it, each damaged enemy non-Mars creature captures 1 aember from its own side. That is interesting. And yeah, obviously you want to be having your opponent have some damage stuff on the board. But with little plinky creatures, that's probably more possible. Okay, Request Donations is an action. When you play it, you make a token creature, and it captures 2. Then we have Ixil's Mesmerist, who is this guy's also Ixil's. Okay, so they're reusing some of these. That's nice, I guess. Ixil's Mesmerist is a 5-power Martian that says action, a creature captures 1 from its own side. Yeah, it's pretty great. I mean, obviously it's like a Mind Warper, but bigger power, no elusive. It's good. Almsmaster is a 4-power human knight with 1 armor, deploy and taunt. And after you play Almsmaster, each of her neighbors captures 1 aember. And there's 2 of these in the deck. Here's another Guiltspine Netcaster. Another Taxing Journey. Yanthe Ghostfin is interesting. It's a 3-power Aquan with elusive. After it reaps, you purge a creature from a discard pile, and if you do, you make a token creature. Then we have Nizek Resonator back from Age of Ascension, who's a 2-power Martian soldier with 1 armor. For each neighbor Nizek Resonator has, your opponent's keys cost +2 amber. So nice key cost boost there. But along with 2 cards that just say they can't forge, pretty cool. Dragnet is an action with an aember that says play, return a creature and each neighbor that shares a house with it to their owner's hands. And very fun theme there. We have another Xanthix Harvester, this one with a capture icon. So, I mean, you have an empty board, you play 2 Xanthix Harvesters, and the Ironics Rebel you reap for 4. I mean, that's pretty great. And have three decent creatures on the board. Genetic Blast is an action with an Aember. When you play it, you deal 2 damage to a creature and each other creature with the same name as that creature. This is real strong anti-token tech. Um, it can essentially be deal 2 damage to each of your opponent's token creatures, but obviously it is more. It has more broad utility than that, but it's still certainly teched against tokens. All right, Covetous Hema is a 3-power Aquan. While it's not on a flank, it gains elusive, and when you play it, it captures 3. We got 2 of those. Oops, wrong pile. And then Fuguru is a 1-power Aquan with poison, and it says that your opponent refills their hand to 1 less card during their draw card step. Now, one thing to note here, 3 Aember and Unfathomable. 4 in Mars, that brings us to 7. 4 in Sanctum, that brings us to 11. 11 total Aember pips. The last 2 decks I did, which each went 3-1, had 16 pips. This has 11 pips. Oftentimes that can tell you how things are going to go. Although there are some really nice effects here. I think, a Brobnar is going to kind of run over this board. And ultimately, if this thing can't stay on the board, then it's not getting value out of the Waymare, out of the Timothy's. Even with the Timothy's driving up preventing the forging, there's not a lot of Aember control, so it's not like you can push your opponent. If you have it like a closed door negotiation on this, then maybe your opponent goes to 20. They're thinking, oh, I can kill that and then I'll start forging. They kill it, but then you can fire off the closed door negotiation. You've swung things. That's amazing, right? But in the absence of something like that, these stops can only last for so long. Now, sometimes they can last just long enough, but if you're not also racing, then it's going to be tough. There is definitely some good stuff in here that I'm excited about. I definitely think I think somebody else, maybe it was somebody on AC, said it first, but I agree with them that kind of it's probably Z, your kind of average card value in Mars I think has gone up, whereas maybe the top end isn't what it was in AOA or even Coda. But the kind of what you normally get is going to be much better, which is good. That's a good way to have things. Where and the Unfathomable control is just really high potential. Sanctum a little beefy, but maybe not in control enough to actually eke out a win. But yeah, so anyway, I did get to actually play against this one, and it was a fun game. But Brobnar board was able to just maintain control and push to the win. Once again, that was ENS or Ensign, I think, Wevilthan, the Streetwise Pilgrim. Hope you enjoyed, that you'll tune in for more, and that you'll get out there and forge some keys.